Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another session here of the book club. Been away last week as we finished our last book, TDJ's book, Don't Drop the Mic. Today we start with our fourth book in this series for the book club, and it's Martha Adams' book, Cleopatra's Riches. And I have my copy here, and that's is 20 chapters in all. So I'm not sure whether if we're going to do it chapter by chapter like we typically do. If we do that, it's going to be 20 weeks of doing this. If we go ahead and do it according to Matt's recommendation for a book club, she kind of groups chapters together, and that runs between 7 to 8 weeks, thereabout. So you have to fully decide which one we'll go by. We'll try to chapter by chapter first of all. If it's looking at it's too short, we don't have enough material to share per week, then we'll probably go ahead and go into Matters curriculum. But we'll try the chapter by chapter and try to dig into the subject matter as we go ahead, and hopefully we can get something solid out of our time together. All right, great. You're welcome. So let me go ahead and pull up the slides here, and we'll just take it one after the other and dig into this. All right, thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming to have this time with me. All right, great. Just dancing between whether to use a play uh, view option or just to do normal slide mode. Well, we'll try this. If this doesn't work, we'll go back to the normal free mode. All right, this is the book again. Amata Adams' book as a fourth featured book, and that's just the book, the insert, just talking about Martha herself, what she gets to do, and Peggy McCall writes an appraisal of the book there. And I'm gonna go on here, just talk about a bit of Martha, and she has a professional career in helping clients get the full meaning of financial empowerment, right? Through having financial conversations, more like a doctor would do, or therapist would do, just helping people get their own empowerment financially, to get empowered, right? And obviously, she discovered that discovered a common thing, right? And people having to change the negativity around the discussion to positivity. All right, we all have different stories around finance, which is part of our upbringing, right? It's become our culture, our beliefs, our story, and all of that affects our acumen, our disposition towards finance, and in a sense also affects the way finance also is disposed towards us, right? Because our beliefs, our values, our attitude towards money is communicating something to both money, the elements of this world, and that determines the response we get, right? And she's able to do a therapy with people in being able to discover the negativities in their story and help them move from negativity to positivity, thereby receiving healing. Hey, Ann, you're welcome.
Hello, Uncle. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Well, thank you. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All righty. So just trying to get the book going, doing some kind of an introduction here. Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
All right. Just talking about Martha here and her background, and she's been able to put both business, educational talent, and asset, in helping people have a wide discussion around money. All right. She talks about that her passion is about changing people's conversation around money and finance. It's great, helping people, right? And we're gonna run on. And here we have Bob Proctor, right? He just passed on February. He just passed on this February, I believe. This February, he passed on this February. You know, and these are 40 something or 50 something years, in the personal development space. But he wrote a forward for this book, and he talked about the book being divided into three parts, right? Talking about a discussion about money, talking about how to handle money, how to grow the money, and how to enjoy the money. I guess the most important part is the third part, because what we don't enjoy, we don't have positive feelings towards. A lot of people don't get to enjoy their money, right? And that's why they have a negative vibe towards it. And probably more than anything else, being able to discover that part of enjoying it, right? We only get to live this life once, and the once is enough if we live it well. Living it well means we enjoy it. We enjoy it. Obviously, there is the part of labor, there is the part of investment, there is the part of paying the price. But the end of all of that is that we enjoy it, right? If we don't enjoy our labor, the fruit of our labor, then it's not a good life. Life is found in the enjoying of it, not just the living of it. Right. So we're gonna be our conversation will go around those three things, right? And then the money, growing the money, and enjoying the money, right? So that we can have the right vibe towards it, and money itself can have the right vibe towards us. All right. So this is our fourth book. Like I said again, we did the first book was on the four purposes of life. We went on to the next book and we did Believe It. We just finished our third book here by T.D. Jakes, Don't Drop the Mic. First book was generally talking about purposes around life. Third one was talking about believing in yourself, believing that you can make it. Third one here was focused on communication. And here we are going to be talking more about money. But here also, as we talk about money, we're talking about self-development also, because there's no way you're going to grow money without developing yourself, because those two are intricately connected to one another, right? Money is only going to come to you to the extent to which you have a capacity to handle it, right? If you have money that you can handle, it's going to kill you. So for money to flow, just like we have osmosis, for money to flow towards you, there has to be capacity on your side for that money. Otherwise, that money will not flow towards you. It will naturally flow away from you rather than flow towards you, right? And so there is a quiz that Marta put together. So if we go to that link there and do the quiz, it'll just give us some kind of score on how we're doing financially, right? So Andy, you're going to try to go to that link later on, right?
Yes, you're gonna send us the link.
I'll send you this slide sheet, so it'll be on the slide.
Okay.
This link here. So just something to just answer some questions, see how you're doing financially, just self-evaluation.
Okay.
Yeah. So going into the meat of the introduction itself, it's just being able to associate our self-identity with our money stories. We all have stories. Generally, we have stories about our life. And Hannah, I've heard you say a lot during all our previous session. You have your stories. And some of those stories empower you. And some of those stories also emasculate you, right? Depending on what that story is, it could either empower you or disempower you, right? And the beautiful thing about life is that you are the storyteller, you are the story writer. So you can write the story in a way that will empower you. You have a choice. I mean, it's the same occurrence, but the way you spin it, the way you look at it can be such that it will empower you or not empower you. So you have to then make the decision to look at it in a way that will empower you. Because if you look at it in a way that does not empower you, it will not help you in your today and your tomorrow. It will become a limiter to how far you can go in life, right? Because life responds to us according to our story. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So as we talk about money stories, also it's going to be also most of this is evaluating ourselves and saying, how did I get here, and how can I go from here to where I want to be, where I want to get to. So it's a bit of self-evaluation, getting to understand your stories, the limiting things in your life, why they're there, how they got there, and how you can change it or make or tune it in such a way that to help you to get to where you want to get to, right? So self-development, it's very much related to our financial empowerment, because the more you know yourself and you gain mastery over yourself, the easier it is for money and all the resources you need in life to flow towards you. Right? Scripturally, is that scripture where Jesus Christ says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing that you need will come to you. And another way to spin that scripture is to say, seek ye first mastery of yourself. Because as you seek mastery of yourself, everything that you need will come to you, because you'll be able to handle it when you have mastery over yourself, right? So that's the spin to that. And the important thing is that we're brutally honest with ourselves, because it's all about ourselves. It's not about what anybody thinks or doesn't think about it. It's our life. Just like going to the doctor and not telling the doctor some of the symptoms you have. The doctor is not the one that owns the body or feels the body. He can only prescribe to you based on the symptoms you tell him. If you lie to him, he'll give you the wrong tablets, right? So the same way here, as we look at our lives, we have to be brutally honest with ourselves so that we can get the right prescription, the right recommendation, the right therapy, so that we can get the healing that we need, right? And there's Carl Jung's quote that I love so much, and I say so often, is the fact that it says that when we don't understand the unconscious, right, we do things and we think that those things are fate, is destiny. Oh, it's my destiny, it's my fate. There's nothing like destiny, there's nothing like fate. Yeah, what we call fate or destiny is our unconscious controlling us without we understanding how and why it is controlling us in that particular way, right? Our life is a recording, our life history is recorded in the part of our mind that is called the unconscious mind, or our unconsciousness. And that unconsciousness regulates and directs our life based on what is recorded inside it. A quick example is what we call conscience. At some point in time, we thought that the conscience was the voice of the Spirit of God, right? But it's not true. Conscience is the voice of your spirit. In another sense, is the voice of your subconsciousness, right? Your subconsciousness is trying to lead you according to what you are used to, right? If what you are used to is that this thing is right, or this thing is the right way, anytime you try to deviate from the recording in your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind will tell you are doing something wrong. That is what we call conscience. It has nothing to do even with the spirit. It has nothing to do with God. It just has to do with what you have grown up to believe is right or wrong. So anytime you try to deviate from what you have grown up that was stored in your mind is right or wrong, that voice of your subconsciousness will tell you, oh, you are doing something wrong. That's what we call conscience, right? It's that word conscience is the word taken from consciousness, your consciousness. And that consciousness for each of us is at different levels based on the story behind us, right? That story records in our subconscious mind and tends to direct us, tell us, oh, that is right, that is wrong, right? So that's why you cannot just depend on your conscience alone to live right, because what is stored in your mind might not necessarily be the truth. Even though your mind is saying that that's what we're used to, you might have believed a lie up to that point and think that that is true. So that's why scripturally, the Bible will say that we should not be conformed to this world, but renew our mind by the word of God. Get a new standard for our mind to operate by, right? Whatever we thought was right before, let's check it with the word of God. If it's the same, fine. If it's not, then we need to replace that memory bank in our mind with the word of God to wash it so that we can have the right recording to direct our life. Right? Are we together so far? And are we together so far?
Yes, Uncle.
All right.
Sorry, I keep going on and off because of I have Azariah here with me, who is not feeling well.
Oh, no problem. I just wanted to be sure I'm not losing
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So important thing here as we go along is that, it's just trying to understand ourselves, say, understand the things that are limiting us, as far as finance goes, and understand why, and be able to get solution for it, and take away the negativity around it and replace it with a positive mindset, one that will of its own get us to where we want to get to, right? The last quote there is one I picked off Twitter. It talks about most of our beliefs we have saved in our head about us and others are nothing but lies. So, so like I said, some of those beliefs might just be what people have told you, what you have thought about, might be a function of your exposure, right? Maybe you've never traveled out of Nigeria before, so you've never seen people wear some other things. And you now think that everybody that wears that is this or that, so might be limited by exposure, right? And we suffer because we continue to believe those lies, right? When you let go of all the anger and hate of the past, your mind reboots, refreshes, and gets you focused on your goals, right? So, and that's one of the things we'll be doing as we go through this journey, pretty much checking our beliefs and be sure that those beliefs are based on truth and they're not mere opinion, right? So that we can, on a good footing, match ourselves to where we want to go or where we want to be, right? Obviously, our beliefs affect our emotions, affect our feelings, and that's why they limit us. Because if for instance, I believe that making money in a particular sector is not right, if I try to force myself to go and make money there, I will only be sad. I will not be happy. My conscience will be beating me that, oh, that is wrong. That it might not necessarily be wrong in itself, but because my belief is that it is wrong, I will not have a free flow to do business in that particular sector because of the belief that I'm carrying, right? Obviously, money is a central part of our lives. We're here and it's a means of transaction, right? Everything that we need or transact is done by money in one form or the other. So it is important for us to then make sure that we have our disposition to it right? And all we're trying to do in all of what we're going to be doing going through this book is pretty much getting the right attitude towards money, getting ourselves in the right disposition, in a place where money will easily flow towards us. We'll be able to make the right decisions around money, right? Such that we'll have a positive inflow. And not just that we have a positive inflow, we'll also be able to enjoy it. Because it's one thing to have money, it's another thing to be able to enjoy the money, right? There's no use having money and you cannot enjoy it. Money becomes useless if we cannot enjoy it. Because the essence of having money is not for the sake of money itself. We don't eat money. It's for what money can do, right? And if that what money can do cannot give you joy, then the money becomes useless. It has no value, right? So true financial empowerment comes from within. It's not what someone else is telling you. Because there's several ways of making money. There's several ways of being disposed to money, right? But we're looking for the one that works for you as a person. Because what works for me might not necessarily work for you. What works for another person might not necessarily work for someone else, right? Because we're all different. Number one, we are in different professions. Number two, we're probably in different environments. We're in different, we probably have exposure to different financial institutions and avenues, right? So we need to be able to then say things that are relevant to each person such that things that are applicable irrespective of where you find yourself, right? So, all right. I also took this quote here of Warren Buffett today, and taking one from Martha herself, says, when you start by asking why, you're starting from within, right? And like we say, if you have a why for what you are doing, you will be able to find the what and the how. Getting the what and the how is seated on your ability to have a strong why. When you have a strong why, then it's easy to know the what and the how to go about it, right? Warren Buffett then talks about that Americans are in a circle of fear, which leads to people not wanting to spend and not wanting to make investment. That leads to more fear, right? Obviously, people have different fear factors, especially with the pandemic and the way the market goes up and down. People are scared. If I put my money, will I lose money and all of that stuff, right? But most of that is because of a lack of knowledge. When you understand the market, then you're not scared. You're able to make use of the market wherever it is. You're able to understand how to invest in a bear market and how to invest in a bull market, right? So hopefully that's all we're going to try and get here. You know, the disposition to win in life is not fear. It is faith. And faith comes by understanding. Faith comes by knowledge, right? That's what we get by having all of this discussion. Because when you don't have knowledge, when you're ignorant, is a very good fertile ground for fear to grow, right? All right. So Matter then comes up with, first of all, talks about the make and spend circle. And what she was focusing here is the fact that, generally our disposition, general foundational disposition to money is a place whereby, it used to be that we used to do trade by barter. People used to exchange what is important to me with what is important to you, right? You want what I have, I want what you have, and people used to exchange, right? Thinking about money is in terms of I make money and I spend it, right? That's pretty much what we think about. And as I was growing up and I saw the young ones growing up also, my prayer to God was, God, help me to be able to meet up with the requirement of my age. And let me not be at an age where I cannot meet up with the requirement for that age, right? I cannot meet up with the expenditure and be able to do the things someone at my age is expected to be able to do. So that was one prayer I prayed as I was growing up, and God's been faithful. God is faithful, right? He's heard my prayer, and I have no complaint, but just to be grateful. But that's important because it makes you sad if you are not able to meet the requirements of any season of life that you find yourself, right? You want to be able to be either at par or higher than every season of life you find yourself. Otherwise, that leads to depression, worry. You start depending on other people who also have their own dependency also and all of that. But life is found being able to meet your needs, right? But the challenge with just thinking about making money and spending is that it might just be a place where there's no element of, if you're just making and spending, then you are in a what do they call that word now? You are in a circle or a do loop, as it were, right? There's no way of coming out of it. And then when you retire, then you're still looking for money, whether it's pension or people giving you money, right? And there's no empowerment from that because you're only able to make for what you work for is what you are making. But there are better and higher realms than that, where though you are not making money or you are not working, money is coming in. You want money to come in even while you are sleeping, right? But just this base level brings anxiety to people because people lose jobs and maybe they don't have anything they don't have any money on them at that point in time. So we talk about in financial counseling that you need to have money in savings, right? You need to have a minimum of maybe 6 months or 12 months expenditure saved away, so that that will be able to take care of you a rainy day, be able to help you when emergency or that emergency knocks on your door. You're able to have money that is stored away to be able to meet or answer to that. But the key thing also in this circle is a place whereby you're just working and not necessarily possibly getting the benefit of all that you're doing. And that's why Martha then comes up with something that is higher than those first two, what she calls earn, grow, and enjoy. So you see, there's not even spending here. Instead of using the word spending, she's using the word grow and enjoy. So what you are spending is more like whatever it is to grow you and to enjoy, right? You earn money, you're able to grow with it and enjoy it. And she comes up with this model here, and that's pretty much what the book is written on. We're going to be looking at how our origin and upbringing affects this model, right? How our community affects the way we earn money, our society affects the way we earn money, and our relationships affect the way we earn money, right? How we earn, grow, and enjoy as it relates to these 4 levels, right? So that's pretty much the summary of the book. We'll be looking at how to be able to gain mastery over money by seeing how our relationships revolve around those 4 layers. One about upbringing, community, society, and relationships as a whole, right? So, and what she's come up with is what she calls the 4 R's, right? Which is recognition. I'm going to take this down. She talks about being able to recognize the trend in life. How did I get here? Why do I think the way I think? Why do I do things the way I do it? Right? Being able to reconcile the reasons why, and being able to release whatever negative emotion or negative vibes around it, and being able to then repeat the positive vibe that we'll get out of it, such that we'll get into a place where the positive begins to work for us. So, one second here. All right. So, and that's pretty much what the book is. All through, we're going to be repeating that 4-hour process, using it to evaluate different areas of our life, and just be able to get the positive vibe out of our experience of life. So what happened? Yes, I came on to. So the last place here is just talking about asking some questions, so this is pretty much a summary of the introduction of the book itself, right? It's pretty much going through that 4-hour process of being able to recognize, reconcile, release, and repeat, right? That's pretty much. Before we go into these questions, anything that came up for you, anything that stood out, any question, anything you want to discuss, share, and all that we've looked at?
I've not actually read the introduction yet, so I
All
need
right.
to. I have the book, but I've not really read the introduction yet. So I need to make time out during the week to start reading the book.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
But my husband wants to join, but today has been kind of rough because our baby woke up 3:30 and
Yeah,
just been giving us stress.
yeah.
So it's at that age where I don't know. Are you okay? So, but I will gonna make time to read the book.
Awesome, awesome. That'd be great.
It's okay.
That'd be great.
You want to pee?
Then if you can.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what's wrong with him today. He woke up early.
But he doesn't have temperature.
No.
All right.
Doesn't have, but I don't know.
One of those days.
Yeah.
He doesn't have temperature out there.
Yeah.
Just watching
Yeah.
him.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's do the assessment also on that link.
I'll do that. Okay.
Just to have an
Okay.
idea of where he is, and we'll just take it
Right.
from there. Yeah, let's take it one step at a time. Yeah,
Sure.
it's
Sure.
not work. We just want to enjoy it.
Right.
It's not a must do. We're going to go through it, at our own pace in our own way to enjoy it.
Right.
Earlier on I said, I mean, she has a book club recommendation, and what she has done is she has worked out a program for 7 to 8 weeks, with reading
Oh
maybe
wow.
4 chapters a week and things like that.
Oh wow.
But I mean, we'll pick one that works for us. For now, we'll assume that we'll do 1 chapter a week.
Right.
Being what we've always done. There are 20 chapters to it. So
Oh wow.
we'll take our time, do 1 chapter a week. If we feel that that's too small, then maybe we'll increase it. But we'll start with 1 chapter a week, then
Okay.
take it from there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not in a hurry. We're just going to have fun, enjoying it.
Right.
So let's run through those quick questions just put together. This is from a book club recommendation.
Okay.
She said, so how did you start to see financial conversations differently? What was said, is there anything different in the way you've typically had financial conversations? Anything strike as different, or is just the same? But any answer is correct.
This is, I'm sure they are different. Yeah. It's a difference. It's a
Yeah.
difference. Yeah.
So I get, for me, the difference is that it's been tied to self-discovery. That's a key word.
Right.
Rather than just going into principles, there's a tie to looking at it from an individual story, right? Being able to
Right.
look at the things that your beliefs and your values and the things that are running your life. For me, different ones, right? Even 2 days ago, my wife was saying something about the things that and that we have not achieved,
Right.
how we have
Right.
done several things that we didn't complete, that used to
Right.
be our story,
Right.
but
Right.
that is no more our story, right? Even though in the past we've done so many projects we didn't complete, right? But as with the new knowledge, new faith that is rising, that's an old story, right? So we're changing it. We're intentionally changing it because we've seen the track record. It's almost like you're almost getting it done. Something happens, it didn't complete. Almost getting done, something happened. So for us, as we go through the book, also I can see that trend. I've seen it long time before, and that's been put in energy, to change that story. Right. So I noticed it, but it wasn't for me now to carry fear, because there are two things that you can take off from discovering a trend in your life. You can either make you scared, the witches in the village, because if you allow yourself to succumb to fear, to only empower it, it only get worse, right? But when you see a problem to solve it, not to become a slave to it. So when you see a problem, you start asking yourself, so what can I do? What can I do? Yeah, there are things I cannot do. That one is just praying, right? But there are things I can do. So that's what I'm asking myself, what can I do? Then I begin to do the things I can do. That's the way to change the trend, right? Because there's nothing that cannot be changed. You just need to have the right key, the right procedure, the right intervention to change it, right? So yeah, so that's for me. It's something different. Looking at it more from going backwards and looking at what are the things that are limiting me from becoming who I want to be. So the next question is, what did you immediately connect to, or what resonated with you? Is there anything that quickly comes to mind or rings a bell or something like that?
On what? On the conversation
Or
we've
not,
had now.
just introduction. Yes, just introduction.
Oh,
Yes, just a
oh.
discussion of that.
Well,
What
I think
maybe something you've heard before rings a bell or something that's interesting.
well, I think they grow. Is it grow, enjoy? I don't know.
Grow and enjoy.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
that stands out. Focusing on not that I'm spending money, but rather I'm using it to grow myself,
right,
right, and to enjoy my life, right.
right.
And that's a positive way of looking at it. But if I look at money as my account is going down, look, only 10,000 remaining, you're gonna feel sad. But if you think about it, oh, look at me, I've already paid those school fees. That's gone. Oh, I bought those shares. Great. Oh, I invested this. Oh, it says another. There are two ways. It's the same way whether we look at whether the glass is half full or half empty. They'll produce in you different emotions. But it's the same glass, same quantity of water, but will produce you different emotions depending on how you're looking at the glass. You get
Right.
So
right.
it's the way you look at things will create in you different emotions and will create in you different empowerments to achieve,
Right.
And the third question she has is, what feelings and associations? Azariah, welcome to our class. What feelings and associations do you have around the ideas of make, spend, and save? What typically comes to your mind when you think about making money, spending money, and saving money?
Well, making money and spending money.
I mean, generally,
like you want.
That's our normal life.
Yes, you have to make money, spend money,
Yeah.
and then save money.
You make money, spend money, and save money every day.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it used to be
more saving, more save.
Yeah.
You want to spend, you're like, okay, that budget for that, that budget for that, so yeah.
Well, it could be a body if all I'm thinking about is saving, because I'm also asking myself, is it worth saving it? Is it really bringing value for me? Because for me to save means I have to deprive myself of some things.
Right.
So, but today I'm seeing the value of all the deprivation I have done in years past. So that's why that general saying is, do what is hard today to be able to live an easy life tomorrow, right? I'm in a period of a lot of investment right now, especially for my farm. I'm doing a lot of things on the farm, right? Trying to build this poultry, and I'm spending a lot of money on the poultry. Where here trying to plant the whole 60 acres we have, so I'm having to buy seed every day. We'll just move the farmers from there where they used to be, move them to the farm, just build temporary housing, so a whole lot of money that's going on, along with the fact that I have children in school, all of that. But you see, I'm able to do a lot of those things because of what I deprived myself of yesterday, right? Because I deprived myself of some things yesterday because I'd invested in some places, right? As I need money, the dividends are coming from some of those things, right? My account is going low, then a dividend comes and raises it up, or something somewhere. I'm going to pick on this or that. All of those are available because of what I did yesterday, right? I put them there yesterday when I didn't need them. Now I need them and they're coming of use to me, all right? But what she was really trying to compare was comparing that to where you now begin to use the words enjoy and grow, right? Which is not necessarily altogether new to me, but I guess the key thing is the fact that being able to see that what I am doing is not a punishment, but is for a benefit, which I might not see today, but I will enjoy and see tomorrow. For me, I'm seeing some of that today, right? Because I've done a whole lot of things years before. But right now, I'm doing a lot of things now because I'm going to retire in 5 years' time. In 5 years' time, I will not be making as much money from my office like I make now. I'm going to just be on pension, right? So I'm doing the hard, difficult things today so that when that time comes, my standard of living will not fall, right? Because whatever it is that I will not be making from my company, I will be making it from all other sources.
Right.
Because if I don't have those other sources, then my standard of living will fall because what I'll be making will be less. But if I have those other income coming in, they can augment for what I will not be getting from my office at that point in time. Then I can still maintain my standard of living. But you see, I'm paying the price now.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just something Kim Kiyosaki posted this afternoon. I was sharing with some people. You know, the people are poor because they wait till they are inconvenienced before they do something. Then it's too late. A wise man sees trouble coming from afar and begins to make adjustment today. Because by the time that trouble gets to you, it's already too late. Right? And we'll have more discussions around that as we go ahead. All right. We'll stop there.